I'm streaming, baby. Welcome to Austria. I'm your host, Manayaku31. This is the broadcast for round 6 of the SFR GT Challenge Season 1. And we are looking at the Division 2 guys tonight. Last week was Division 1. Tonight is Division 2. We will have a 36 lap race on the Red Bull Ring. Drivers are still qualifying. There are about 4 minutes left in the qualifying session. Now you're having a look at STR Captain Goof, who's currently holding first place in the qualifying session, and the Lexus RCF GT3 2017 version. In second place we have CK716 and the Alfa Romeo, but I believe Fam's Hyper is currently in second place. Actually, he has just been bumped down to third place by the Alfa Romeo driver. So currently, as we stand, the top 3 is STR Captain Goof, CK716, Fam's Hyper, and then we have the first RR driver, Rockefeller Racing, in 4th place, and a substitute driver for tonight, Bekwa, in the Toyota Supra. So hi Joshua, Big Red is watching tonight, rooting for his teammates at the PHRT, Powerhouse Racing Team, who are currently in 2nd place and 6th place on the grid, with only 2.5 minutes left in the qualifying session. So tonight we have drivers from STR, Stronger Together Racing, 3 of them. We have STR Mango, who's replacing STR Cyberstro tonight in the Corvette. PHRT has 2 drivers, CK and Boys Noise. RR has 3 entries, 2 Rare Penguin and Magic Man. Bekwa is racing for BRT tonight, and Viper 9 Matt in the Lexus on his own. And also Fams has a full field tonight, 5 drivers, 2 Hondas, 2 Porsches, and 1 Chevy Corvette. So the gap between the first 2 drivers has tightened a little, as Goof managed to post a 28.2. So that's 0.2 faster than he ran previously. It seems like the front row will be made of these 2 drivers, Goof and CK. We'll wait to see who has the upper hand. A little bumping there in qualifying, that's never good, but drivers don't have to yield when they're on a fast lap. And there's been a collision. Well, CK hitting A. Mueller off the track. Stewards will have to look at these incidents. But qualifying is virtually over. Only 20 seconds left. Drivers starting their flying lap before the 20-minute mark are allowed to complete their lap, and then they must park on the track while the grid is being set. And before the race, I'll have an interview with Fams Clay from Full Attack Motorsport, who's racing tonight in the Honda NSX. So Clay, are you here? Yes, you are. Good evening. So I heard you have some important news to announce tonight. I will let you do it now. So, Dan, I have to interrupt you. I believe you're not sharing your audio. Just make sure. Are you? Yeah. I've been told that there is people are not able to hear you. I will just make sure everything is fine on my side. On my. Let me check something. What is going on? Everything should be fine on my. Let me double check this. Everything is fine on my side too, so I guess we have some technical issues. Can you still hear Dan on YouTube? I am still waiting for an answer. Well, it seems like we have lost. Yeah. So you hear me, but you're not hearing Dan? Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to reschedule the interview. So I guess we'll. I don't know. I'm sharing audio everywhere, so I don't understand. I guess we are incompatible tonight. Things happen. So I guess we will go on, and I will thank Dan for sharing this news. We will post it on the Discord later tonight. I will let you go and set the grid. You are the host tonight. Okay. Okay, so I'll let you talk again. They're probably gonna hear you now. Let me check. Probably gonna hear you now. Let me check. No, I cannot hear you on this. Okay, well, so we are about to go underway. So then you can, okay, so you left the party. So I guess we'll have to do that again next time. Some issues. Once again, before we start the race, I will make sure I double check, triple check, quadruple check again. But everything should be fine. So I'm back. We can already have a look at the strategy. It seems like Clay and Tag are gonna start on the mediums along with Boys Noise in the Lexus. A Mueller is also gonna start on the mediums. J-Rod for FAMS, so it seems like everyone at FAMS is gonna start on the mediums. Most drivers occupying the first few spots on the grid usually start on the softs to try to create a gap before the pit stops to the other cars, whereas drivers in the bottom half of the grid tend to choose the mediums. We are still waiting for everyone to enter the track, so yes, everyone can be placed in the right position on the grid. We have a full field tonight. We have 15 drivers. 2 substitute drivers tonight. Bekwa and STR Mangos, who was a substitute driver on for round 4 on the Autodrome Nazionale di Monza. So it's his second race in the SFR GT Challenge. So Catch saying the mic was not shared. It was shared, but I guess there was an issue there with the party. Hopefully we'll be able to hear everyone for the interviews after the race. I will just make sure Dan knows that there are no issues on my side so that he can go whenever he wants. So Catch, our team manager, saying let's go Rockefeller. 3 drivers tonight. 2 in the Corvettes and 1 Mercedes AMG GT3. 2 Rare and LSX Penguin in the Corvettes, and let's see if we can find them. They're not in the right order as of now, but they will be as soon as we start the race. LSX Penguin in the gold Corvette and 2 Rare in the red Corvette. Can I find our friend Magic Man? 15 in the US flag Rockefeller Racing AMG. So as soon as the grid will be set, we'll have a grid start. False start check is turned on, so drivers must not hit the gas or let go of the brake pedal before the red lights, before the red lights are off. Otherwise they will be stuck on the grid. I believe it's a 5-second penalty, a slowdown penalty. As always, if there's an incident, there may be a red flag before the end of the first lap. Otherwise, we're good to go. I will just make sure. Yes, everything should be fine. The drivers are staying in the pits. We should have the start in a few seconds. Hmm? No, Dan. Okay, well. Okay, good. The race is about to start. So, we're about to get underway for a 36 lap race on the Red Bull Ring, Division 2, Round 6 of the SFR GT Challenge. As always, feel free to leave comments on YouTube. I will try to answer any questions. Goof in first place, CK in second place for PHRT, Fams, Hyper in third, LSX Penguin and Magic Man in fourth and fifth for RR, and Bekwa in sixth place for BRT as a substitute driver. And it's a start, everyone is off the grid. Goof is still in first place. Penguin going aggressively on the inside. That was quite rough there. And that allowed CK to move up in first place. Goof lost the lead and is being challenged by Magic Man. And Hyper, having an issue, has to cut turn 2. So far we're staying under green, the race is still good to go. CK in the Alfa Romeo in first place. Some lag there, as Goof is trying to avoid the lagging Alfa Romeo, so that's a little network issue there. Must be quite distracting for the STR driver. And well, it looked like CK was about to lose it and end up in the grass, but he's still on the track. I believe we will be able to have a look at the replay for the start. We'll have a look at Penguin's point of view. Challenging for first place, and he got hit from behind, so that was a collision. It wasn't on his own. Let's see if we can go back and have a look again. There were a lot of contact there. It wasn't a clean start. We'll go back live now to the battle for the lead. Now Goof managed to overtake CK. We'll try to find. We'll try to have a look at it on the replay. Well, actually, he was already ahead of CK at the end of the first lap with his overtake at between turns 5 and 6. So positions haven't changed since the first lap. We still have Goof in first place, CK in second, Magic Man in third, Boys Noise for PHRT, CK's teammate in fourth, and the Lexus. Viper 9 Matt in fifth place, going very wide there. Two Rare and LSX Penguin in 6th and 7th. Bekwa in the Toyota Supra in 8th for BRT. Hyper now down in 9th place after the incident on the first lap. Death Scythe in 10th place for STR in the Subaru. Tag moved up to 11th. J-Rod is in 12th for Fams. Clay in 13th, Mangoes in 14th, and I believe we've lost a driver. A. Mueller. So we've lost Fams A. Mueller in the Honda NSX for Fams says he had no brakes. The game is bugged. So that could be why there was a lot of bumping at the start. As now we have Boys Noise in 4th place in the Lexus, challenging Magic Man for 3rd place. And I believe there's been a change of position behind. Two Rare has lost 2 spots. And whoop, let's not miss this. Boys Noise challenging Magic Man. He's going to be on the outside for the final turn, and he's going to complete the overtake. And he now has a clear track in front of him. He'll be able to chase CK, his teammate, who's in 2nd place. And it looked like CK was losing it on exit, but actually that was just lag affecting the action there. So he's still on the track right behind Goof. And Magic Man is trying to reclaim 3rd place from Boys Noise, as there's another overtake there, LSX Penguin on Bekwa. A lot of action. This track has very long straights and tight corners, so it allows drivers to set up an overtake, draft, and try to dive on the inside of under braking. So Big Red saying go PHRT on YouTube. Currently your teammates are 2nd and 4th, both with a chance to gain a spot. They're right on their rivals' bumpers. And Viper 9 Matt, as always, has great starts. Up in 5th already, as Penguin and Bekwa are fighting for 6th place. The RR driver has the upper hand for now, but Bekwa had a great exit, and he's going to try to challenge the RR driver at turn 1. Seems like he's going to be able to take it, as Viper 9 Matt goes very wide there. But that was a clear track limits violation. And Bekwa holds on to 6th place. CK drifting there, but that could all be down to lag. Seems like there are some network issues tonight. Nothing major, but his car seems to be inaccurately shown on the track. This doesn't seem to bother Goof, who's holding on to the lead, and Boys Noise is now up in 3rd place. Try to have a look at the overtake. Boys Noise was already ahead, so we've missed this one. And A. Mueller rejoining the lobby, but he's already out of the race, so that will be no points for A. Mueller in this round. Want to remind our viewers, only the top 8 scores out of 10 rounds will count towards the Drivers' Championship. Same thing with teams. Hyper, after starting from 3rd place, is now down in 8th. Tourer has dropped 3 positions since the start, and he's now down in 9th in his Corvette. Death Scythe in 10th place in the Subaru. Gerard in 11th. Mangoes, I believe, had an incident with A. Mueller at the start, is down in 12th. Clay in 13th, and the last driver, Famstag, in 14th place. I believe there was an incident there. We'll have to go back and see what happened. Viper 9 Matt was in 5th place. Just overshot the corner there following Bekwa. Almost clipped LSX Penguin. Thankfully there was no contact. And Hyper right behind him also overshot the corner, and it allowed Two Rare to overtake him. As now, CK is in the lead. But he was already ahead of Goof at that time. So the TV cameras have missed the overtake for the lead. This means PHRT is having a very strong showing so far. Lap 7, and they're in first and third place. CK in first place ahead of Goof for STR, and Boys Noise going in the grass there. The exit of turn 2. This might give a chance to Magic Man. He's gonna try to overtake the Lexus driver. He's right there behind him, applying the pressure, but that's not a good spot to overtake. He'll have to be patient and maintain fourth until they get to the pit straight. Boys Noise had a good run out of turn 6. That allowed him to create enough of a gap to hold on to third place ahead of Magic Man. Magic Man going wide, clipping the grass. Nothing major there. CK is still in the lead for PHRT. He's building a small gap over Goof and the STR Lexus. Sporting German colors, a tarmac special livery. So Boys Noise still in third. Magic Man still behind Boys Noise as Bekwa and LSX Penguin are fighting for 5th place. The Toyota driver with a new livery this round. Second race in... whoa. What happened there? I was sure LSX Penguin was beaching his car at turn 3, but actually that was just lag. It seems like we're having a lot of network issues tonight. So don't go crazy if you see cars apparently flying off the track. That's just an issue we have with esports. Nothing we can do about it. So Death Scythe now up in 9th place. Hyper is down in 10th. So he was up to 8th place after his incident on lap 1, and he's now down 2 positions again. Will he try to pit? Yes, he's gonna pit. He started on the mediums. He will probably switch to the softs and run soft tires until the end of the race. That's the first pit stop of the race. Gerard, his teammate in the Chevy for FAMS, is also entering the pits. So far, positions are still remaining the same. Penguin overtook Bekwa. Let's have a look. Actually, that overtake probably happened at turn 1. Fortunately, I am not able to go further back with the instant replays. So Penguin now on a mission. He's gonna try to catch his teammate Magic Man in the Mercedes AMG GT3. as CK is lagging a little, but he's still holding on to a 1 second lead in the Alfa Romeo. And before I forget, I want to say happy birthday to Sammy Turismo Sosa, a Division 1 driver. I believe he is turning 20 tonight. Today, actually, well. Happy birthday, Sammy. I won't sing for you tonight, as CK is lagging, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. Some drivers in previous rounds unfortunately got disconnected because of network issues, so we'll keep an eye on the leader. Hopefully there will be no such issues tonight. But Goof is staying right behind him, less than a second behind the PHRT driver. So there's gonna be a great battle for first place. We'll see how strategy plays out. Drivers have to use the racing mediums for at least one full lap. So far we've only had 2 pit stops. The 2 FAM's teammates switched from the mediums to the softs on lap 7. Lap 9 actually. Boys Noise is still in 3rd place, Magic Man in 4th. So Boys Noise could get another podium this season if he maintains this 3rd place. But LSX Penguin, since he's managed to overtake Bekwa, has closed up the gap to Magic Man, and now is in a position to challenge his teammate. So the 2 battles we'll have to keep an eye on are the battle for first place between CK and Alfa Romeo and Goof in the Lexus, and Boys Noise, Magic Man and Penguin for 3rd place, the last spot on the podium. As always, the top 3 will be interviewed by me at the end of the race. And I will also pick the driver of the race, who another driver who is impressed by his performance in the race outside of the top 3. The gaps are pretty stable. Drivers will probably go for a 2-stop strategy. Where is not that high on this track. We could expect the first pit stops. I believe there's someone in the pits, but that was I believe Famstag, yes, switching from the mediums to the softs, but he's now a lap down. The first pit stop should be on lap 14 for the drivers who have started on the softs, so that includes CK, Goof, Boys Noise, Magic Man, Penguin, Bekwa, Viper. So the top 7 are on the softs, as the gap has not changed between 1st and 2nd. CK still holding on to 1st place in the Alfa Romeo. There's been another pit stop. That was STR Mangoes, and he decided to stay on the mediums. So he might have started on the softs, and he's coming out of the pits right in front of Hyper, but Hyper should take 11th place, as Goof is entering the pits from 2nd place. Magic Man is also entering the pits. So 2 drivers in the top 5 going for a pit stop. Goof putting mediums and exiting the pits in 5th place, right in front of Viper. As let me try to find Magic Man here. Magic Man on the mediums also. So they're gonna go with a soft, medium, soft strategy. That was a bit too early to try to run a one-stop race. So now CK is... I believe I have lost the data. Let me try to find it again. There it is. Great. So CK is staying on the track. He's going to complete the 13th lap on his set of soft tires. Boys Noise is now in second place, so PHRT is holding the first two positions. Boys Noise is entering the pits, as we just mentioned. And Penguin is also entering the pits. So it will be interesting to see where they exit on the track relative to Goof. Bekwa is also staying on the track, trying to run a longer first stint. So Goof is now up in third place. And the gap between first and second is 16 seconds. A pit stop usually takes about 16 to 17 seconds on this track. Drivers don't need to refuel. They have enough fuel to run the full race at the start. Boys Noise is still technically in third place, but shown in fourth place as Bekwa isn't pitted yet. Ahead of LSX Penguin. It seems like Magic Man has lost a few positions. Will be interesting to see. Let me see if my spies can tell me what strategy they're on. They both took mediums, and two were started on the mediums actually. Magic Man also on the mediums. There's been an issue there, as he was in fifth place right ahead of Penguin, and he's now down in as Tag has gone off the track there. And CK is in the pits. We'll have a look at his strategy. His pit crew are putting the mediums on his Alfa Romeo. We'll see where he exits. So Goof is exiting turn 1. CK is still in the lead. About 1.3 seconds. So the gap hasn't changed after the pit stops. There's still about a little over 1 second between first and second. Boys Noise now has a 2-second gap over LSX Penguin in the Corvette. Penguin 2 seconds ahead of Magic Man. Two are still on the track, hasn't pitted yet, in 6th. Bekwa has just pitted and has decided to put some mediums on his car, and he's in 7th ahead of Viper 9 Matt. Well, Goof is now only 0.7 behind the leader, CK, and the Alfa Romeo for PHRT. We'll keep an eye on these two, as CK went way... well, was aggressive on the curbs. That could be a little lag, but it looked like he used all of the green concrete he could. So we'll stay with these two. The gap keeps tightening, only 0.5 now between the top two. They're both on mediums, as there is a blue flag. Nope, that was just a bug there. Now Goof is right behind CK, and he has the power advantage on the Alfa Romeo. Let's see. You can ride on board with him. That's gonna be very close. Little tap there. Drivers have just exited the pit, so their lap times are not very representative of their actual pace. So we'll have to look again. But Goof seems to have the advantage there on the mediums. CK is struggling for grip. He went in the pits a little later. Could be still having issues putting temperature in his tires. Still warming up his tires. And now CK had a great middle sector, and he's now 0.7, 0.8 ahead of Goof. So they're still very close. 0.3 separating first and second. CK seemed to have an issue there on the entry of turn 1. That might have affected Goof's ability to carry speed through the corner. Let's see if the American driver and the Japanese car is able to challenge CK for the lead. It seems like the Lexus has the advantage in the first and the first half of the second sector, but the Alfa Romeo has the advantage in the second half of the second sector and the final sector. The more technical section of the track, requiring a lot of mechanical grip and agility. The 4C doesn't have as much power as the Lexus, but it's lighter and it's more nimble than the Lexus. But Goof is closing up the gap. Should be able to, and he's drifting a little at the last corner. Struggling to put the power down on the mediums. There's less grip. So that raised the gap to 0.9 seconds. So he's not right behind CK. He's not in the draft. That will make it harder to set up an overtake there. It's too far behind. So we'll have a look again. It seems like CK was drifting there. That was struggling there on the mediums, putting the power down in the Alfa Romeo. But he managed to hold on to it. Saved it. And as we just go take a look at the battle for third place, Penguin challenging Boys Noise for third. Overshoots the corner. Allows Boys Noise to get back in front of him. As Magic Man is now down 5 seconds behind fourth place, so he's been struggling on the mediums. So these two are now having a battle of their own. And Boys Noise drifting, saving it, almost threw in the kitty litter. And LS6 Penguin is now up in third place. So 3 teams in the first 3 positions. As the second PHRT driver is now down in fourth. But this is not over. Both drivers are struggling on the mediums, sliding everywhere. But they managed to hold on to their car as the battle for first place has come down a little, and we've lost Fam's tag. So we're down to 13 drivers. As Two Rare is finally entering the pits on lap 18 after starting on the mediums. Let's try to find Two Rare in 11. Decided to stay on the medium, so he's going to run. I believe that's the first time this season we see a driver using the mediums for both stints. He's not going to use the softs this race, as the leader is catching Clay, who's currently about to be lapped. I believe Clay is gonna enter the pits. Nope, actually was just yielding to Goof, trying to not have an impact on the battle for the lead between these two drivers. And Boys Noise lost some ground to LSX Penguin. So the latest, I believe we have a red light on the starting grid. There must have been an issue there. The race director struggling with the lights. As, yes, I was saying LSX Penguin, who just started racing in the SFR GT Challenge on Brands Hatch in the previous race. Had a podium last time, and he's on his way to claim another podium finish if he manages to fend off the attack from Boys Noise. The Lexus driver not giving up on third place. He's staying right behind him. He's going for gold. As CK and Goof are still less than 1 second away from each other. 0.9 now. So I believe this one is going to be played in the pits unless one of the two drivers make a mistake. But it's going to be how it's going to be all about who's going to be able to stretch the stint on the mediums or pit as early as possible to go for softs and manage the wear on the softs. As we've just seen, there was a change there for third place. We should be able to see the replay. Penguin must have had a bad exit out of the final corner. Boys Noise inside, diving on the inside, and that was a clean overtake. Penguin having some a lag spike there. Looked like he was losing it, but actually that was all down to lag. As the gap between first and second is now down to 0.7 seconds. So CK is under pressure, and he's not making any mistakes so far. Keeping his cool. As Boys Noise and Penguin are still going at it for third. And there's been an incident there. I believe that was Clay. Try to have a look at this one. Oh, it just went off the track to yield to Bekwa, so there was no incident there. As now Boys Noise and Penguin are still bumper to bumper. But Boys Noise has a gap over Penguin. And that's allowing Magic Man to close up the gap. He's now reduced it by 1.5 seconds. And Penguin going deep. I thought he would hit Boys Noise there. It might have scared Boys Noise a little there, and he slightly overshot turn 2. Keeping the outside, Penguin on the inside. There's a slight touch, nothing major. Boys Noise going a little wide there. It's hard to say if there was an actual side-to-side contact or if it was lag. As now the battle for first place has come down a little. CK having a 1.4 second gap over Goof. It's going very wide at the final corner. So Penguin is now in third ahead of Boys Noise. Magic Man in fifth for Rockefeller Racing and the Mercedes AMG GT3. Bikwa alone on the track in 6th place in his Toyota Supra. Viper 9 Matt having a good run in 7th in the Lexus. Death Scythe in the Subaru. In 8th place for STR in the Air Force WRX Subaru. So Death Scythe finished in 2nd place in the last round, his first podium of the season on Brands Hatch. He has said before the race that he's struggling with the balance of his car on this track, so it's a tougher race compared to the previous round on Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch was his best performance of the season. Car felt wonderful there. It's a little tougher. The WRX doesn't have a lot of power. It's not the best in terms of the straight line speed. And with these very long straights, it's not necessarily easy for the STR driver, but he's keeping it on the track, maintaining 8th place, a solid top 10 position so far. Kept it clean, no incidents so far. Two Rare, who went with a totally different strategy, is now in 9th place, running 2 stints on the mediums. Hyper started in 3rd, had a terrible first lap, is now down in 10th place in the Porsche. His teammate for FAMS in 11th in the Chevy. J-Rod, also known as Bravo 23, changed his PSN ID a few weeks ago. Mangoes, also known as C3DU2 1990, STR driver in the Chevy Corvette in 12th, who was STR C4. And we have Clay in last position, his first race since, I believe, round 4. So he's making a comeback. And CK building up a gap over Goof. The question is, will CK try to stretch his stint on the racing mediums until the end? The Alfa Romeo is known to have to be very mild on its tires, so that's a possibility. Let's have a look at his car telemetry. So only about 20% wear on his mediums after roughly 12 laps on them. So he could try to stretch it for an extra 11.5 laps. So let's have a look at Goof's tire situation, about 25%. So wear is higher. He also pitted 2 laps before CK did. So it's gonna be interesting. Are they gonna try to finish on the mediums, or will they pit for fresh soft tires? Since you lose about 15 seconds in the pits, that's something you have to consider when you're thinking about your strategy during the race. Let's try to find the good data there. So Penguin in 3rd place, and Bikwa is now ahead of Magic Man. I suspect Magic Man went in the pits. Yes, he just went in the pits for fresh soft tires, so he's on a 2-stop strategy. Went in the pits at the end of lap 24 for fresh softs, and he still maintained he's still in 6th place, so that's not been a big deal, as Goof answers our questions, and he's now in the pits going for fresh racing softs. So what will CK do now that Goof is trying the undercut? Will he stay on the mediums and manage the gap, or will he go for softs to cover Goof? But now Goof is right behind, well, not right behind, but he's behind LSX Penguin and Boys Noise, who are still on their mediums. They've been running in the 132s. Same thing for Boys Noise, 131.5. So that explains why Boys Noise was right behind Penguin. STR Mango getting blue flags. He has to yield within the next 3 corners, but he's still holding on to his track position. We'll see if that affects the battle for second place. So far, he's far enough ahead of Penguin. Doesn't really have an impact on the American driver, as CK decided to dive in the pits. So yes, he's gonna cover Goof by taking racing softs for the last 11 laps. Actually, that will be 10 laps, as he's about to cross the finish line in the pits. Penguin stays on the track, as does Boys Noise, so top 2 are still on the track. Where is CK gonna rejoin the track? He's going to be right behind his teammate Boys Noise. Actually, Boys Noise is on his flashers. I'm not sure what he's doing. Probably signaling to his teammate. No, actually he's going to overtake Penguin, so both drivers are on the mediums. CK, and there was a collision there between Penguin and CK, and that would allow Goof to overtake CK. And now, will he be able to challenge Penguin there? Penguin is on worn mediums, Goof is on fresh softs. That's something that's gonna be talked about after the race for sure. We'll have a look at the replay as soon as we see if the positions are stabilizing or if Goof is gonna be able to get first place from Boys Noise. Is Boys Noise going to pit this lap? No, he's staying on the track, but he's drifting as Penguin dives in the pits. Boys Noise struggling. That will allow Goof to get on his inside. Boys Noise is on worn mediums. It's highly unlikely that he'll be able to challenge Goof at turn 1. Nope. But I believe Mangoes is on fresh soft, so he was able to stay ahead of both Penguin and Boys Noise, who are on worn mediums, running in the 132s. So we'll have to see what happens there. We can have a look at the replay now. Let me make sure I'm on the right driver. Penguin overtaken by Boys Noise. Goes on the outside curbs, loses it, cuts across CK, pushes him in the wall. Was there any damage there on CK? Nope, no damage, but still lost position to Goof. And now Goof is in the lead. We'll have a look at the replay from a different angle. Just want to make sure everything is still... actually, Boys Noise is ahead of his teammate CK, but he's yet to make his final pit stop. Will he try to go in the pits now? Yes, cuts the pit entry. That's gonna be a penalty for sure. And now Goof is ahead of Mangoes. Goof is right behind Mangoes. The STR driver will have to yield to his teammate. I believe, yes, he's gonna do it now. But the collision between Penguin and CK looked like a racing incident. It's gonna be under review for sure after the race. But that is promoted Magic Man in 3rd place. Penguin is down in 4th, not far behind his teammate. Boys Noise down in 5th, so he's the... and he's going super wide there. Totally missed turn 2. Should be able to go back to the replay again. I believe that's a CK. Well, right on board with him. So Boys Noise overtaking LSX for the lead. Then Penguin losing it, hitting CK. And CK losing a spot to Goof. A lot of lag there. Let's go back to the race. Goof has a 3.1 second lead over CK, so he's benefited from the incident there. Magic Man in 3rd place. He had lost a lot of time during the second stint. He had lost about 5.6 seconds over Penguin and Boys Noise, and he's now up in 3rd, 1.3 seconds ahead of Penguin, his teammate in the RR Corvette, number 36. Boys Noise is now way behind. He's on mediums again. So, unless he made a mistake in the pits and selected the wrong tires, maybe his pit crew made a mistake and fitted the wrong tires. His tires are fresh, but they're probably the wrong ones. Probably wanted to use the softs for the last stint. It was only going to be 8 laps, but he's on the medium, so that's why he's losing so much ground. It has basically ruined his race. Bekwa is gonna overtake him very easily. He's now up in 5th place. And there's nothing Boys Noise can do about it, as Bekwa is running laps in the 129s on the softs. Goof still has a 2.6 second gap over CK, so CK is pushing hard. Just got the fastest lap of the race, 128.9. So if you compare the fastest laps between Division 1 and Division 2, I believe there is about 0.7 seconds gap. Rodrigo had the fastest lap, 128.2 in the Division 1 race, and the fastest lap is now held by CK in the Alfa Romeo, 128.9. And now Magic Man, only 0.4 seconds ahead of Penguin, so there's a battle between the teammates, our teammates for 3rd place, the last spot on the podium, and the last driver to be interviewed by me at the end of the race. Magic Man going wide. This will allow Penguin to overtake him. Is he gonna try to stay inside? No, he's lifted a little, stays behind his teammate. That promotes Penguin to 3rd place. There's no change between the top 2 positions. Bekwa is still in 5th in the Toyota ahead of Boys Noise, who's probably hitting himself right now at what could have been a great finish, but unfortunately I believe he selected the wrong tires there. I know how it feels. I've done it on Brands Hatch. And Too Rare is still on the mediums. I believe Viper is on the softs, and he's applying the pressure on the American driver, and he's trying to overtake there. That's a very risky overtake. Will he make it stick? Too Rare is certainly struggling on the mediums. Viper is let me get the data. Yes, he's on the softs, going very wide there, but Too Rare was not close enough. So Viper is now up in 7th for Has Been Racing. The gap between first and second is now down to 2.3. CK is still lagging a little. I was scared. I heard him. I heard someone spin, but that was just an illusion. So it could be a 100% podium stat for Mr. L6 Penguin Javier in third place. Well, and Rodrigo saying there probably won't be enough time for CK to catch Goof. I believe CK had a terrible exit there out of turn 2. Let's have a look at it. Yes, almost spun there, so he's pushing hard. It seems like it's a little too late to catch Goof and overtake him for the lead of the race, but it's not over until it's over, so we'll see. Rise above, conquer all. He's gonna try to do it, but it's gonna be hard. 2.3 seconds, only 3 laps to go. Penguin in third place, coming up on Mangoes. Mangoes should have blue flags, I believe. Yes, the marshals are showing the blue flags. He should be yielding to Penguin. So that's, yes, that's fine. Let's have a look at the lap times posted by Magic Man and Bekwa. Bekwa managed to cut 0.5 seconds off Magic Man's lead. So we might have a battle for fourth place before the end of the race, as Goof is now only 2.1 seconds ahead of CK. So CK has not given up yet. A little over 2 laps left. It's not impossible, as Goof is coming up on Fams Clay in the under intersects. Going in a gravel to let the leaders through. 1.6 seconds now, so we'll stick with the top 2. We'll see what happens there. Goof went in the pits a lap before CK. Tire wear might be playing. It might be a factor now. Yes, CK's tires are not as worn as Goof's tires. What lap times are they running? Goof in the 130.1 range. CK 129.7. So they've lost about a little less than a second over their pace on the fresh softs. It's such a tight gap. Let's hope both drivers have not made mistakes entering the pits. Magic Man still holding on to fourth place ahead of Bekwa, 1.5 seconds. Boys Noise losing ground to Bekwa, he's stuck on the mediums. Viper going super wide there. Stewards will have to look at track limits. 2 were in 8th place for Rockefeller Racing. Hyper in 9th ahead of his teammate. Mango's in 11th. Clay in 12th. So we've lost 3 drivers. Fams A. Mueller. We've lost Fams Tag, and who else have we lost? STR Def Scythe is also retired from the race. That's who I was looking for. So we Goof starting the final lap. He's holding on to a 1.6 second gap over CK in the Alfa Romeo. I believe, oh no, that was lag again, but he lost a little time there. These lag spikes have been quite confusing tonight. It's hard to know if drivers are actually spinning or it's just the network, the server playing tricks on me. But now the gap is up to 2 seconds. Unless there's a major incident, I don't see CK being able to challenge Goof. So Goof just has to keep it on the black stuff, and he's gonna claim another victory. That would be his 4th victory this season. The first one in is with his new German livery, sponsored by Tarmac Apparel, his real-life sponsor. So Goof exiting the final corner on lap 36, flashing his lights, claiming another victory ahead of CK in the Alfa Romeo. LS6 Penguin in 3rd. It will be his 2nd podium this season in 2 races. So 3rd place on Brands Hatch, 3rd place on Red Bull Ring. As there's a battle for 4th. Magic Man holds on to 4th ahead of Bikwa. That was very tight there. Boys Noise, after making a mistake in the pits, in 6th. After running 3rd for most of the race. Viper 9 Mat in 7th place. And the pink and purple fancy livery. Number 98 for HBR has been racing in 7th. Fams Hyper started 3rd, struggled at the start of the race and finishes the race in 8th in the Porsche for Fams. 2 Rare on a very different strategy, mediums in 9th, and J-Rod in the Fams Corvette in 10th place. So here are the results. We'll hear from Captain Goof, CK, and LSX Penguin in the interviews. I will also invite one driver, the driver of the race. Anyone on YouTube wants me to invite someone. Hopefully we'll be able to hear the drivers. We've had issues earlier. So I will just save the results. As I remember, everyone, I am an official in this league, and I am also the editor, so I have to know everything. So this site was still in the lobby, so that's why we haven't received a message saying that he was leaving the lobby. So Boys Noise left, so well, probably mad at himself for the mistake he made there. Let's go with 2 Rare. I will send the party invites. Hopefully everyone is sharing their audio. Hopefully you'll be able to hear them. Okay, I have to find all of them. I will be back shortly. 2 Rare, Goof, CKN, where is LSX Penguin? So we're doing the interviews in the PSN party chat, unlike Josh, who's using Discord, but I don't have the softwares to do it. I don't have my mic, so we won't hear from CK. We should be able to hear from Goof, Penguin, and 2 Rare. We'll know shortly, as they will be joining the party in the next few seconds. Let's have a look at the results. We have Goof in the party. We'll just wait for the other drivers. So, welcome to the podium interviews. Great race from you, STR Captain Goof. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you, sir.
That was a great race in your German, Japanese, American Lexus, sponsored by Tamrek Apparel. It seems like the livery gave you wings.
Kind of, but now, Tarmac Apparel is my actually real life sponsor, with the car community here and everything. So I wanted to represent them, and just the German design is pretty much the background of my name and family. So that's what I went with this race, and I'm actually going to run it for probably the rest of the season. Just something new, something I came up with. But yeah, I mean overall it was a good race. It was a clean race. Me and CK had a really good battle at at the beginning all the way through. Actually, I mean it was really good between everybody. The start was a little rough, a little bumpy with everybody, but we
Yes,
all shuffled out and everything got situated. But yeah, overall, I mean it was a clean race. I had fun, and I hope everyone else had fun.
it seems like there was a chain reaction at the start. LSX Penguin was sent on the inside, and you managed to avoid him. You lost the early lead, but you were able to stay right behind CK, and you benefited from the incident. So there was some issues after the your second pit stop, uh, and you kept it clean. So that was a great race. That seems it seemed like it was a very hard race. You were putting the pressure on CK. CK was putting the pressure on you, and you how was it in the cockpit? Temperature must have been running very high.
Out my hands were definitely sweating. Like, oh my God, like, because that's what I was running the whole race. With this race, I went ahead and went back to my cockpit view. That's what I was running, and yeah, like just going back and forth between me and Helm, just focus on what his lines were, trying to outbreak him. He was doing the same with me. I could tell that, and we both were pushing. I could tell we both were pushing a couple times. But I mean, overall, it was very clean, and I had fun with it. I mean, we both had fun being up front. I hope you did too. And I nudged him
It
a
was
little
fun.
bit here and there just to let him know that I was there. But and then with traffic coming out of our second stint of pits, like that was a little rough. But we got around and had a good finish.
Well, that was a great race, a great comeback after the race on Brands Hatch, and that was your fourth win this season, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I believe so.
believe so. I'm
So
not sure.
you're probably gonna hold on to the lead in the Drivers' Championship. So congratulations, Goof, and we'll see you again in Catalonia for race number 7. And I will now
Thank you,
move on.
and thank you for streaming.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. CK is not able to make it to the interview, so we'll move on to LSX Penguin, who finished in third place. That was your second race in the league, your second podium in a row. You had a rough start, but you managed to cat. What? Okay, I will try to ignore my messages right now. You managed to climb back to third place. That was a quite an intense battle with Boys Noise and Magic Man. So how are you feeling
Yeah,
about this second podium?
I'm feeling great. I'm even more happy than the first race. I honestly, again, I didn't think I'd be on the podium. I thought after the first corner I'd be fighting for somewhere in the midfield, but thankfully the strategy paid off and I was able to make up a lot of ground and keep my head clear after that and finish off with the podium.
Well, that was great. Now we're moving to Catalonia next round. You're relatively new in the league, so how do you feel about this coming track? A relatively new track in GT Sport. Have you?
I think it's gonna be a really good track. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit more towards the AMG, the C7s, the RCF's power cars, but we also have the middle sector that guys like CK that have the 4C that are just gonna blow by us and make up a lot of ground in the middle sector. So it's gonna be a very interesting round, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, it should be a car that allows MR cars and FR cars to really shine in different sectors of the track. It's going to be really interesting to see that. So I want to thank you and congratulations again on your second podium and your second race for Rockefeller Racing. We will now move on to RR2 Rare. welcome in the interview chat. Can you hear me? So you went with a very different strategy, a one-stop race. I believe you ran two stints on the mediums. You did? Okay, so I was not mistaken there. So what made you choose this different strategy? So I believe that was your fourth race for RR this season. I, I guess I'm the stats guy, so I should probably not ask you about stats. So you're just here to drive race cars. Well, you did a great job on a very different strategy. It was interesting to follow you through the race. So I'm looking forward to see you on Catalunya. So I guess we will conclude the podium interviews on this. Congratulations to the three of you. And I want to thank everyone on YouTube who watched the stream and left comments during the broadcast. That was quite interesting. That was a very intense race. Josh should be back for the next round, the Division 1 race, round 7 on the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So have a great night. I'm your host, ManayoQ31, and we'll see you soon. I should be racing next week. Bye bye.